Last summer, I was at my uncle's house helping him move things into his car when I noticed no telescope in his garage. It was a simple looking telescope covered in dust concealing its original forest green paint. I started to wonder how many other houses or garages had old, abandoned telescopes. Never asked my uncle about it, only if I could have it. Nowadays, you can just Google pictures of the planets or digitally go stargazing. But I couldn't help but wonder how hard stargazing nowadays really was. Are you watching? We can use that to find treasure. Well, it is February 18th, the nicest, clearest skies we're gonna get around here, and it completely different experience. We can actually see stars this time, but we're unable to actually record stars because it's far too dark out here. So we're just gonna have to resort to pictures. But yeah, we came out here. I see the stars. They're right there. You just have to take my word for it because they're just not visible to the camera, but they're there and they're beautiful. So I started to wonder how kids can care about space when they can't see many stars. Does living surrounded by light pollution affect a kid's relationship with nature? Why buy a telescope nowadays when you can't see the stars above you? I sat down with two 12-year-olds and tried to get some serious answers out of them. But getting serious answers out of two 12-year-olds turned out to be the hardest challenge I faced yet. Have you ever owned a telescope?
Yes.
You've owned
Same with me. When I was like 6 or 5, 5 or 6.
Okay. Did you use it?
Once, and I forgot about it. I used it for show and tell one time. That's it.
Okay. And what do kids think about the stars nowadays?
Honestly, I don't think kids think about it because they're more involved with video games than going outside and touching grass.
Do you know about light pollution?
Light pollution?
Light pollution. You know what light pollution is?
No, I don't.
Stars. They don't teach you about the stars.
No, they don't.
They don't teach you about the stars? How will we continue to teach kids about space if they cannot see it? What do you think about space, Jacob?
It's cool, fascinating.
Fascinating. That's great. Do you like space?
Yes.
Did you ever want to be an astronaut?
No.
Why not?
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yes. You can go kaboom.
Have you ever seen a planet?
Yes.
When?
Never.
So you've never seen a planet?
No.
Have you ever used a telescope?
Yes, I have one once, and I never used it again.
Why didn't you use it?
I forgot how to use it.
Was it hard to use it?
Yes.
Did you ever even see anything through it?
No. Womp womp.
Does living in the city affect a kid's relationship with nature?
Yes.
How?
They're not around trees. They're not around plant life. Not around many animals.
Why would you buy a telescope nowadays when you can't even see the stars?
Great question. Why would you do that?
How bad does light pollution have to get for people to realize something is wrong here? I talked with a professor of astronomy at CLC, discussing the effects of light pollution.
My name is Eric Priest, and I am a full-time faculty member in the Earth Science Department at CLC, and I teach astronomy and meteorology. Light pollution is basically excessive or misdirected light reduces crispness of the night sky. It reduces the natural darkness of the night sky. Certainly important to astronomy because so when I talk about misdirected light, we're talking about light that's going up into the sky. And yeah, it's important to astronomy. Ground-based telescopes reduces, particularly in urban areas, it reduces what you can actually see astronomically in the night sky. It's a big negative in for astronomy because what the light does is it basically makes makes the night sky fuzzier. And so not only the amount does it reduce the amount, it evolved once the electricity was invented. Once we started having electricity and outdoor lighting, and then as it expanded, initially it was just mostly in urban areas, but it's expanded now into even rural areas. And so light pollution has only gotten worse. And also, even as as the technology has improved, people want brighter bulbs outside, more light, made it worse as well. And part of the problem is that the lights are not shielded from producing light up into the sky. So there are things that can be done to reduce it. One of them is you can have shielding that shields the light from going up. In other words, it forces the light to be where it's at and then down. Really what we want, I mean, that's what you want. You don't need to light the sky up, right? And there's been some success at doing that. For instance, in Williams Bay, Yerkes Observatory, Williams Bay has got an ordinance where all the street lights, and even if you have outdoor lights in your houses, from what I understand, they have to be shielded to protect the night sky for the Yerkes Observatory there. And that's the biggest thing that we can really do. From a health standpoint, I know that too much light at night can disrupt your sleep cycle. But that's more of indoor lighting. I don't think that's really kind of what we're really talking about here. Yeah, from what my perspective or my expertise, I think that's probably about it. Yeah.
From the interview, I found that light pollution isn't talked about enough. How will we continue to teach kids about space while we are limiting their chances of seeing it? What do kids think with space? What do kids think about space?
It's a lot. Like it just keeps going on and on.
We're so disconnected from the stars that we have resorted to faking them. But what about those glow-in-the-dark stars that people stick to their ceilings?
I had them because they look cool.
Yeah, what he said.
What about those lamps that mimic the sun rising in the morning?
I don't think you should buy it. Just open your window and look outside.
Okay.
Don't use something that's not real.
What do you think about these lamps that people use to fake the sun rising in the morning?
Stupid.
Do you want to elaborate?
Why don't you just go outside, touch grass?
We are so used to convenience that we are willing to settle for fake experiences. But doesn't that say something about our longing for a deeper connection to nature, even if it means using artificial means to get there? It may also be a wake-up call to rekindle that connection and appreciate the true beauty of the world around us.